Yo, what's poppin'? You know what time it is? Your boy, Mr. J Hill, J Hill Podcast. Another special guest in the building. You see me with the same clothes on because I'm working. Different week, but we working. Yo, this guest bringing up, I don't have too much information about this young lady because she don't do interviews, but that's what this is for. But what I will say is, she probably can rap a lot better than a lot of you people out there. You know what I'm saying? I gotta watch how I speak when I'm speaking in the presence of, I don't know, it just gets worse and worse. I don't know. I was saying in the presence of God, but I should be in the presence of God all the time. But I'm human, man. I'm trying. Childlike CiCi is in the building. What up?
What's up, bro?
First of all, you are talented as heck.
Appreciate that.
I can should I be me? Like I'm trying to be.
You can be
cautious.
you. I'll be trying. I
respectful.
encourage people not to curse though. I'll be like, if you can restrain, that would be appreciated.
Okay.
But yeah,
I'm trying to respect you.
I
and then
appreciate
also
that.
I do know that you I don't want to say new, but you a few years removed. You ain't been doing it for too many years, so I know I gotta be careful.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want you it might be easy for you to step back. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to. I don't want to be promoting that.
Okay, I don't know what you mean, but I feel you.
You know, what is it called? When you sober and you have a drink again?
Oh no, sir.
Relapse.
No.
Because you fresh. You for 3-4 years now, right?
4 or 5, 2019. But I ain't. No.
Oh, that's why I said I gotta be careful because I don't want you to relapse over here.
No, we ain't relapsing. We good. We good.
How you doing? First of all, I feel like for the interviews that I did watch, or one or maybe two.
Yeah.
You got such a great energy and a great spirit. Appreciate
that.
But you say you don't like doing interviews.
I don't like doing interviews like that, but I'm gonna tell you why. It's really my fault. Because the interviews I've done, people ask me the same stuff because they don't really know nothing. So I think it's more of my fault. They ain't really, so they be like, oh, when you start doing Christian rap, it'd be the same little questions, and I'd be like,
yeah,
it's a little draining. So that's what it be.
Okay. But I mean, yeah, I get that.
Fault.
If they trying to get that, I get that.
Yeah.
I do want to start from the beginning, though.
Yeah.
Right? I told you we're gonna go through the journey.
Okay.
I do know that there was a time where you was struggling with smoking.
Yeah.
And the way you stopped was really unconventional.
Yeah.
Right? It was a come to life moment.
Yeah.
Right? But I wanna go back even before Christian rap.
Okay.
When did you get introduced to music in general and you knew that this was a thing that you wanted to pursue at all?
Yeah.
Period.
I'm gonna answer that, but I wanna first give you some flowers a little bit. I was watching some interviews before I came on here. I gotta research. I'm like, bro is a good interviewer.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're listening, you're taking, you're actually listening, pulling questions from the conversation. I was like, I need to let him interview me because
thank you.
I knew right away. I was like, he gonna pull out the question. So
I appreciate that for real.
You're a great interviewer. But ask your question again, cause
let's go back to inception. Is that the right word?
Inception. Yeah.
When did you know you wanted to make music, be creative?
Yeah.
Do things unconventional. When did you know that before we even get to Christian rap?
Yeah, you good.
Before we even get there.
Yeah. So I always knew. I feel like if I'm not mistaken, I started with just creative things in general. So writing poems, writing short stories, rap. I used to watch a lot of battle rap and stuff. I want to say not to date myself, but even remember 106 in Park, Freestyle Fridays when I was younger, stuff like that. But just different things of that nature. And then it got to the point where I would watch that stuff. Then I'd be like, hey, let's battle rap. Talk to my cousins or my siblings or something. And they was like, nah, CiCi, you're actually good. That slide. And then from there, I just kind of kept doing it type thing. So.
Where you from originally?
New York.
It doesn't sound, it sounds like somewhere down south.
Because my life is interesting. So I was born in New York, but when I was 4, I moved to Virginia. Then from Virginia to North Carolina.
What part of Virginia?
Fredericksburg, Stafford area.
Okay, that's deep down south.
I don't know.
Yeah, cause it ain't Alexandria, so.
Nah.
That's all I'm assuming is down south.
Yeah.
Well, how old were you when you moved to North Carolina?
I don't even know. 13 something maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so there's some southern in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you listen to battle rap.
Yeah.
And you knew you got confirmation from your friends, from your peers that you was good doing
Not
this.
even my friends, because I was really weird about even sharing that I could rap with people outside my family. Because I dealt with a lot of anxiety, shyness and stuff. And the first thing people say when you be I can rap, let me hear some.
Yep.
And it's nah. So, but yeah, my siblings, family, stuff like that, people I was comfortable with. was telling me like, nah, that's actually good. But even if they didn't, I feel like I would have still just been doing it because I actually, I really just felt drawn to it, like to keep making music type thing.
Do you still like think you suffer from like anxiety and things like that? Do you get nervous on a big lights on?
Nah, like when I say I used to suffer from anxiety, I mean I would be up here like not being able to like I dealt with it bad. Like I couldn't even speak. I'd be sweating like weird stuff type thing. So nah, like I think normal nerves sometimes, but not like nothing like I used to be at all.
So you're not nervous right now?
Nah.
I was making sure.
Nah, I'm not nervous. I feel like you trying to intimidate me though.
No,
that,
I don't want to intimidate you. I want to make sure you good. Like, might have to give you some water. Might have to go to the store and get you some Fiji or something.
Nah, I'm good though.
You like Fiji, right?
No, I don't like Fiji, bro. I like spring water from like Whole Foods store. He has some Deer Park, y'all.
This is crazy.
Deer Park is not the one. Like, no offense to Deer Park. I hope you're not sponsored because I'm about to mess it up. But Deer Park is not the one at all. So we had a little conversation, but that's it.
What's the water you like? Because you keep saying spring water from the grocery store or something.
Like Whole Food. I don't know what y'all got in Atlanta and stuff, but we got like Harris Teeter's, like Whole Food stores.
But what water is in Harris Teeter's that you like?
It's like their brand. Like I be liking the brand water from the Whole Food stores. I don't know why they taste better, but they do. And water got a taste too. I was trying to tell him that. Like if you really drink water, you know it got a taste for real. Like different water tastes different type
That's
thing.
true, but bro, you just said you like Harris Teeter water over I don't like I don't know, essential water or something like that.
Yeah, nah, I don't like essential water. None of that.
You're just picky.
I ain't picky, man. I just know what I like.
You just like what you like.
Yeah. Type timing.
All right, whatever. So let's go back to you making this hip hop music, battle music, right?
Yeah.
So at what point of time did you like, you know what, I'm good, I'm gonna take it serious?
That wasn't low key until like high school. I got like an interesting story, but I don't know how in depth I should go.
Bro,
but
we got
here.
time. Yeah, we here.
I'm going depth. So my brother, my oldest brother, I don't know why he started hanging out with these people, but he started hanging out like literally in like a trap house type thing. And it was two guys there who was rapping, and they were like trying to start like a group. So he was like, yo, my sister can rap. Like she can help y'all, like she can rap. So he literally took me over there, and that was like the first time I ever, for whatever reason, like I felt comfortable like rapping around them. Like I said, prior to this, only like family, like really close people to me. But for whatever reason, like first time I go over there, they like turn on a beat, like we're freestyling, like that type timing. And again, this was the first time like other people was also speaking into it, like you better than me type thing. Like, so that was like the first time I really was like, yo, I should actually take this seriously. Like I'm rapping at a caliber, like me rapping against like other people who consider themselves somewhat professional. Not really professional. It was like a trap house with a laptop and a mic, and we thought we was doing something, but they was taking it serious, and I was like keeping up with them type timing.
Okay.
So that's when I was like, okay, I can actually do that. So from there, I was like over there like every single day, like rapping, recording. So that's when I like started taking it serious somewhat, but even at that point, I wasn't like taking it, like trying to be online or stuff, nothing like that, till like 2019.
So at what point did you see to have some success with it? Was that 2019? What happened? What was it?
All right, so pretty much I had like a situation, like a bad breakup basically, and it kind of caused me to like really just need something to like focus on, if that makes sense. So I was like, I'm really about to try to get locked in with this music. But the problem was I had no money. So I was like, I'm going to just turn on a beat, record myself on the phone. At that time, those videos was kind of popular anyway. People just freestyle and stuff like that. So I just recorded myself, would just be rapping. And those videos like started to, I'm not going to say take off, like to the caliber, like my videos be taking off now. But for me to just come online, 0 followers, to have 200-300 people commenting, like saying this is fire, stuff like that, it was like one of those things where the videos were getting a lot of views, a lot of engagement and stuff online. So it would be me transitioning to a testimony, because I probably only did this for like, it wasn't even that long. Like I would say less than 6 months I was really pursuing this. And different people started reaching out, like people like, oh, I'll shoot for you for free. Let me manage you. Like all this different stuff that started happening like within that short amount of time of me just posting. I wasn't even at the studio. I was just really dedicated to, I'm going to try to drop a freestyle video or something like every few days, like be consistent type thing.
So when you first started, it wasn't gospel rap. First of all, do you categorize yourself as?
I do, yes. I
Okay.
don't mind. Like, I consider myself a Christian rapper.
Okay. So at that moment, it wasn't Christian rap.
No.
So then, now the question that everybody asks, at what point does it go from I'm online rapping, right? I'm getting some success, 200 comments. That's a lot. That's still a lot right now.
Right now, yes, literally.
So I have 0 followers. I'm getting 200 comments. That's a lot. When does it go from that to now testimonial and I'm changing it up?
All right, so let's get to the testimony. All right, so basically, like I said, this is like 2019, moving towards like the end of 2019. I have this moment, so at this point, like I said, stuff was going so well online. Like, people were really trying to like work with me, different management teams, independent labels, stuff like that. So I'm literally set to go meet with some people, like a serious meeting. I'm telling all my family, like everyone's excited type thing. And I would say maybe like a week or so before I'm set to like take this meeting with them.
Well, who?
It was like a management team. Like, I don't even remember.
Independent, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't remember like who they were, but it was enough to where I got it. Like, looking on their page, I just remember being excited. Like, oh snap, they done X, Y, and Z. But like I would say like a week before I was set to like take that meeting, I had got a DM, and it's gonna sound crazy, but this what really happened. And the Bible talk about this. Yeah, you probably heard some of this. So like, God will take He uses the foolish things to confound the wise, right? So I got a DM, and it was from this page, and they were like, we're the Illuminati, and we want to recruit you, this, whatever. And I'm like looking at the DM, and I like literally laughed at it. I don't think the Illuminati is out here DMing people to recruit them or whatever. But I looked at the DM, and I laughed it off or whatever. But it's like I had a thought after like reading the DM, and I just started thinking about the fact that people really do that. So I was like saying like to myself and kind of out loud, because I was just in the room by myself, I was like, man, I would never sell my soul. Like, what I look like selling my soul for anything type thing. And it's like I had an epiphany, and I don't know about you. Like, you ever feel like have you felt like you ever heard God before? Like, you ever feel like God talked to you? Maybe.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm challenged with that.
You're challenged?
Yeah,
Okay.
cause I'm still trying to hear His voice and know when is His voice and when is mine.
All right, that's a good thing you bring up. So that was that moment. So it's like I'm having this thought. It feels somewhat audible, but it's not maybe as audible as like me and you talking necessarily, but it's like audible. And it's like a thought outside of my own thought, if that makes sense. So at this time, I'm smoking every single day. The dude I was dating was a drug dealer. So even though we broke up, I still like mad weed. Like, I'm smoking every day. I'm drinking. Like, I'm not thinking nothing about God. I'm not praying, looking at like nothing about God. So I'm like, as I'm having this thought, like, I'm knowing it's not my thought, and I'm not high at this time necessarily, but I'm knowing it's not my thought. And it's like he's saying like, you're doing the same thing. And I'm like, how? Like, it's like I just start like having a conversation back, and I'm like, how? And then he's like, anytime you use the gifts that I gave you, right, to promote the things of this world, and when I say the things of this world, I mean the Bible calls Satan the god of this world. So you're using your gifts that I gave you to promote promiscuity, to promote addiction, to promote the kingdom of darkness. Who do you think you're glorifying? Like, what kingdom do you think you're working for? And it like really, it like kind of hit, like it really hit me. Like, it just, like in that moment, it just like completely like wrecked me, because, and also more revelation started coming to my head. And again, I'm knowing this is not me, because I don't even think like this. But like more revelation start coming. Like, people think that selling your soul is, we hear people, oh, you do blood sacrifices. They killed a family member to get on. Or they doing a seance to the devil or something like that. Which I'm sure those things really happen. Matter of fact, I know those things really happen. But it's like he revealed to me in that moment, it's really more simple than that. Like, it's a lot more simple than what people think it is. And I think some people only consider things demonic and stuff when it's very overtly demonic. But it's like, it's a lot more simple than that. And he kind of just revealed that to me in that moment. And I just remember, like, I just sat there and I got on YouTube. Like, I was just kind of stuck. I got on YouTube, and then when I get on YouTube, like, a video come up. Now, mind you, again, now the algorithm is a thing. Like, you watch certain content, certain stuff gonna pop up. I was not watching Christian content. I wasn't doing anything. A video pops up, and it just starts also speaking to me. It wasn't speaking about that, but it was just speaking to, like, the personal things I was going through. And at that point, I'm just crying, like, because I'm like, God is literally, this is God. And it's like, it was almost like an undeniable feeling like God is communicating with me and trying to reach me in this moment. And it's like, I couldn't help but, submit. I don't know. Yeah, like, I couldn't help but submit. But even with that, like, that next day, I still remember I woke up that next day and, like, was doing my same routine. Also, with that story, like I said, I smoked a lot. So that night, I normally would have smoked before I went to bed because it's like I had to smoke to go to sleep. I had to smoke to eat. I smoked when I woke up. Like, it was like my life. I just went to sleep that night for, like, the first time in, like, the longest. I didn't even feel the need to smoke. Like, I just went to sleep because I was just, like, so overwhelmed. But when I woke up that next day, I was like, I'm about to just get back to business as usual. So I roll up and stuff. Me and my brother was living together at the time. And I remember, like, we was smoking in the kitchen. And even while I was sitting there smoking, I was like, bro, I think God is telling me to stop smoking and to stop, like, rapping. And we both high at this point. Now I am high and he's high. So he's looking at me. Yeah, he's like, do it. Like, just high, like, whatever. So he's like, dude, I was like, I am. So that day, like, that was like 5 years ago, last time I ever smoked. And beyond the fact that he, like, took me out of that in that moment, I was still living in the house. My brother and I was living together. He didn't stop smoking. We had another roommate. They were still smoking. Everybody smoking every day still around me. I still had, like, no desire anymore whatsoever to smoke or anything. The music piece was a little bit harder because, like, I had told him that in the kitchen, but it probably took me, like, a few days. I'm like, bro, I got all these views. I got all these comments. I went from, like, 0 to almost, like, 10,000 followers in a few months, like, but I was like, I'm going to just delete it. I took down the videos. I deactivated all my stuff or deleted it, depending on the different platforms. And I was just like, all right, God, I'm going to just, whatever, I guess. I'm going to just stop doing music. So it was literally from 2019 to 2022 to where I basically stopped doing music. I didn't plan like, oh, I'm about to just do Christian rap because I didn't even know Christian rap was like a thing. Yeah. It was just a time of me being obedient to God and me feeling like he said, stop doing the music, stop the other stuff you're doing. So I just stopped, and in 2022, I just felt like he was calling me back to it. So
that's first of all, it's so. I wanted to touch on some things.
Okay.
So no cap. Yeah, let me show you this, bro. I can't make this up. I just got this the other day, and I laughed too. I thought it was weird. Bro, look at this. I can't make this up.
He got a message from the Illuminati.
Ain't that crazy? I swear, I'm like, bro.
Maybe this might be your moment, bro. I don't know.
So,
I don't know. I'm telling you some stuff.
But yeah, so I got that the other day. But wow, that's a lot. So So when you stop smoking, you go off the grid. Did you find a church? Like how was the rest of your life? Because it's other things outside of smoking, other things outside of rapping.
Yeah. So basically, like, I stopped smoking, and God is like, if y'all, man. And this why, like, Christianity, like, faith to me is not like my grandma religion. Like, someone told me I had to be like, it's like real to me because the way he saved me was like so radical and just like, what the heck? But like that around that same time, like I told you, like I was smoking a lot. Every job and stuff I had, I used to either have to like try to like stop smoking for a few days, drink a bunch of water so I can pass piss tests and stuff, or take somebody pee. Like I was on that. Like, that's what I would do. I had got a job, like, probably like a month or two later. Ended up being the best job of my life. Like, I'm blessed now to do music full time, but prior to that, I still was working that job. Like, ended up being the best job of my life. The first job, this was the first job I ever had that they didn't even require a piss test. So I could have kept smoking, like, at this job and been at this job, but it was like a sales job and stuff that pretty much changed my life during that time. So I was actually working because prior to that, like I said, the dude I was dealing with helping him. I was helping him and stuff like that. But so I started working, and I did start going to church. For the first few months, I wasn't going to church. Maybe like the first month or two, I was just like consuming content and stuff like Christian content. But when I did start going to church, like I was like literally like obsessed. Like prior to that too, I would go to church here and there. But you know how like sometimes you in church and you just kind of there because someone told you to come, or you like not even really catching what the pastor is saying. Like you just kind of just there. But it's like for the first time, I was actually intrigued. Like, it's like, you know how people like, keep preaching. You, like, that's how I felt. Like, keep going. Like, I want to hear more. Like, it's like I felt the need to just want to consume more. So I was going to Sunday service. If they had a Wednesday night, if they had a Monday, any special services, like, I was just in there trying to, like, get as much in me as possible. Same with reading. Like, I became obsessed with reading the Bible. Like, it was, like, literally just radical. It's like God increased my desire to get to know him in different ways. So
I was just talking about like how it's like different levels of like being saved. Like you get when you first get there, like you super excited.
yeah, that's a real thing.
I was wondering, how was the next level? Did you experience a fall off?
Yes. So I definitely had like, so it was like really radical. Like at first, like I'm literally going to everybody, like my siblings, my friends, like I'm trying to get everybody. So I'm like, God is real. This happened. Like I'm like just preaching, like Holy Spirit feel like preaching. And then I will say like maybe probably like a year into it, I felt myself starting to backslide, but it wasn't like backsliding back into like I never went back to like smoking and stuff like that, like different stuff I was doing. It was more of like a mindset.
Questioning God, maybe?
Yeah, like not even questioning God, but it's like I didn't feel as on fire anymore, if that makes sense. Like at one point, like at first it's like I felt like, yeah, it was like it kind of felt like yeah, this God stuff is cool, but you know, maybe I don't gotta go to like maybe I don't gotta read every day, maybe I don't gotta pray every day, maybe I don't gotta tell everybody about God. It was more of like one of those things. Like I started to feel like maybe I'm doing too much, kinda. But I will say in that process, you do begin to realize like you really not doing too much. Like if I really feel like God saved me, and I'm saying not only did he save my life, I feel like he saved my life, changed my life, then just like gave me a new life. Why wouldn't you want to tell everybody about that? Like if you believe that the word of God is how you get to know him, if you believe that prayer is how you get closer to him, how could you do that too much or be in your word too much? So it was more of that thing where it's like I felt like I didn't want to do the things that I used to, like as easily. But the more I feel like it's normal. Like you don't always feel.
How did you get through that though? How did you muster through that moment, feeling like you backsliding a little bit, falling back a little bit?
Just realizing that it's not always about a feeling. It's about like a commitment. It's just like when people talk about in relationships, like if you like, you may not always wake up and feel like you're in love with somebody, but that don't mean you treat them differently or you move differently because you don't feel it necessarily. You still make a decision to get up every day. Like I personally feel like God chose me in a sense. And the Bible actually talks about it. It talks about how we're drawn, like no one comes to God unless they're drawn to him by the Spirit. So I feel like he chose me. So it's like, he saved me, he helped me, he got me to this point. Why can't I wake up every day and say, I'm going to choose you? Like, you don't have to, like, at this point, you've given me enough to say, I have enough power in me to say, I can wake up every day and choose you, if that makes sense.
Nah, it's crazy because, like, I do understand.
Yeah.
And, like, one of my friends just started, like, she changed her whole way of rap as well. Her name is, like, Martina Marie. She's from Texas, I think, Houston. And like, and I see the conviction, and I think the first thing I thought was like, man, I just pray that she can stay motivated because I know how easily you can get swayed.
You really can. Like, you really got to be careful. Like, even when I started to like go on socials, like doing Christian rap, it was definitely a temptation. Like, people like, you know, you ain't got to do that. Like, you can, like, it's definitely temptation. But I think, I don't know, I feel like once your heart is positioned a certain way, it just be like, you can't pay me. Like, it's nothing you can do to get me to turn my back on God. Like he brought me too far.
What is some advice that you would give to somebody that might had just made this transition from like secular rap or secular music to now Christian based rap? How do you? And is it technically, if it's rap, what's secular mean? What does that even mean?
So I'm glad you asked. So I think it's levels to it in a sense. Happy Birthday is technically a secular song. Like a secular song is basically considered anything that has to do with like
The world.
yeah, in a sense, like not necessarily related to God or giving glory to God, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So I feel like not all a secular song necessarily doesn't have to be inherently bad or evil, because it can still have some principles that's not necessarily saying, hey, I'm giving glory to God, but it still has those good principles, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Most of the time when you hear people talk about secular music, though, we're probably talking about like
Club music.
and not even club music. I'm just talking about anything that's like
that music.
what I said earlier, basically. Like, to me, it's like the music is like promoting darkness. Or
So not like twerking music, not like Sexy Red. You talking about like?
I think Sexy Red's promoting darkness. I think she's promoting promiscuity.
Okay. I'm thinking like Lil Uzi or.
What's that? I know Lucy, but I don't listen to music.
I'm just thinking like
never
when you
seen
say,
his
because I
music.
feel like they be talking about like demons and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that's where people probably get, because even when I talk about it, I do get backlash sometimes when I talk about it, but in a sense, I'm the type of person, like, I'd be like, some of the stuff I say, I don't necessarily expect everyone to understand or agree with me, but I'm not really saying it to get anyone to agree with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying it because I believe it, and I feel like if I can just plant a seed, like get you to think about something maybe you never thought about, or if I can water a seed, like get you to further think about something that maybe God already was putting in your heart, I'm fine with that. Like, I don't feel like I have to convert anybody on the spot or get somebody to agree with me. So even like when it comes to the music, it'd be like, I personally feel like I don't personally rock with music that promotes darkness and sin, because I know the effect it had on my life personally, and the effect it's had on some loved one's life that I love, just seeing how music has like affected them. And I think some people, maybe because they haven't had a personal experience with it, they may not see like the impact that secular music has on people's lives, like for real, and how the enemy literally uses that as like the soundtrack to some people's lives being ended, or people making very poor decisions that change their lives. I think sometimes it's hard for them to like really understand, but like for me, it's serious.
No, we just seen, it was a movie that came out on Netflix with Jamie Foxx. I don't know the name of the movie, where like it was a scene where they was in a club and like they was listening to music and they was all zombies. What was the name of the movie? Anybody remember? Who played who cloned Tyrone? Yeah, I remember. And so like when you say that, it's funny that they made that comparison, that correlation, because music can have you under a spell. But I was going to ask you about, back to my friend,
Okay,
to somebody that just made a transition
Okay.
from like secular music to gospel music, right, or gospel rap. What some advice would you give them from your experience in your 5 years into this?
I've already been doing this for 2 years though. Well,
2
the
years.
rap part.
Well, rap.
I
like,
would just say, like, advice. I would just say to stay the course, because especially if you start to make an impact, of course, different opportunities and stuff are gonna come that may try to persuade you to like, hey, you know, maybe you ain't gotta rap Christian, you can just rap clean. And then from like, oh, maybe you ain't gotta rap clean, you can say a little, like, I don't know. I feel like if it's in your heart though, you just gotta like stay strong on your convictions, man. I don't know what else to say. Like, really, that's like me, at least how I think about
I
it.
asked that because like even like it's funny because I talk a lot about how everybody always talk about how God gives blessings and things like that, but I feel like we overlook so many of the blessings that Satan gives
Yeah.
us. Like Satan gives us blessings to mask the in ways that it look good.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look wrong. Like you said, it might not be as big and blatant, right?
Yeah.
But Satan will give you a blessing in the form of some money, so you think it's God.
It's a thing too. I call it the counterfeit blessing. Like, that's what I feel like I was, like, working my way into. Like, I was going to mess around and accept a counterfeit blessing because I'm getting attention and stuff. And then I start this, and God just go, like, I like to say, I feel like that's even in the Bible. Like, when Jesus, it's a scripture in Matthew where Jesus is being tempted. Well, it's in different gospels, but he's being tempted by Satan, and he's offering him.
Yep, he's like, I give you all this.
I give you all this, and it's like,
he's like,
that's one of the things I hate is that some people really feel like.
He's like, bro, I think it was like you ain't eat, like you can have all this. Why you doing this? You can.
It was he was offering him. He like put him on a ledge and offered him like everything that was there. But I think it's just a counterfeit, and I feel like I forgot what I was gonna say. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah.
No, I think wasn't that like after his 40 days or something, like right?
He was fasting.
Yeah, he was fasting. He was like, bro, you don't gotta do
and
this.
And that was right. And that's why I said a counterfeit before the real thing, because it was right before he was about to actually step into his ministry. Like, his real ministry is when he tried to offer him
the world. He's like, you can have all
like
this.
You can have it. But I think for some people too, it's just one of those things of, I don't think some people even, like, you spoke of like Lil Uzi Vert. Like, I'm not really even when I was like in the world and stuff, I wasn't really a fan of his necessarily. But I've seen stuff like people say he's overtly, I guess, demonic and stuff in his music. I don't think people worship Satan and really believe that Satan is like going to put them in hell and like they're going to be like, I don't think they view Satan as a enemy or a monster, if that makes sense. Because the Bible talk about that too, how he acts like an angel of light, basically. So I don't think like someone's like, oh, I'm going to make this type of music and then something going to happen to me. It's like, I think they believe whatever he's telling them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to get into this, but
you good.
I feel like even if you do it unconsciously, you still going to be judged by your sin. It is what it is. So, and I think, and this is where it gets tricky. I was about to have a conversation with Lecrae. It gets tricky because it's like,
I want you to say what you want to say, because you want to say something, but you don't want to say it.
Nah, because it's like, it's so many different things out there. And that's why I say I get so, I don't want to say confused, but it get frustrating for me or discouraging for me because there's so many different views out there. So, for example, some people, let's say, we talk about pagan holidays. Okay. It could be whatever, right? Some people look at the cross being a symbol, like worshiping the symbol. Like, some people look at it like that, right?
Yeah.
And I think what happened is the devil presents opportunities and make it okay. So it's not necessarily like I'm worshiping the devil, but unconsciously, because you are worshiping the devil, you still get judged the same way. It doesn't matter if you're doing it constantly or not. You still get judged the same way. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, if you go and you celebrate another God, whether you know it's another God or not, but what happened is the devil makes it the norm, right? Like, I try not to, like, because this conversation go deep, but like let's say, I don't know, do you celebrate Christmas and like?
Nah, not necessarily for the reasons people don't. My mama just always got us gifts at tax time after, you know how that is.
But that's where I'm going with it though. Like, so, like, that's kind of where I'm going with it. Like, so you might not celebrate Christmas because you know it's pagan holiday, right? But we make, and you might guess I'm trying to not make you uncomfortable. Like, we make excuses. We make excuses for worldly things to fit in our box, not understanding that we're still gonna get judged the same. And that's what I'm saying. So like, yeah, you might not be worshiping the devil per se, but because you're not worshiping God and His words and what's in the Bible, you're still going to get judged like somebody that's worshiping the devil.
I mean, not technically, and I think that's the difference from like maybe like a legalistic perspective of what
that mean?
The faith is. So legalistic says like, I gotta do all of these things, like I gotta do all these different things in order to not get judged by God. But the Bible don't say that. Like, the Bible talks about the only way anyone can make it to heaven. The Bible actually says, and I try to be careful when talk about this because I'm not it's not like, it's not giving people a license to sin or do evil. But God says like our works, like our good works and stuff is like filthy rags to Him. So the Bible also says that we are saved by grace through faith alone, so that no man can boast. So it's basically saying you can't do enough good or do enough things right to get to heaven. Your only entrance to heaven is by putting your faith in Jesus Christ. That's what the Bible says. That's a part of the gospel of Jesus Christ, is you believe in me, and because you believe in me, that is your entrance into heaven. All that extra stuff is a byproduct of your faith being in him. It's like, because you believe in me, I can enable you to do the right things and to actually be able to discern right from wrong, so on and so forth. But it's not oh, you getting judged either way because someone, if we're talking about a Uzi or someone, he's not getting judged necessarily because of the things he's rapping and stuff. Not to say it's wise, not to say it's good, not to say it's not evil, but the judgment is coming because he doesn't have faith in the only one that can save him. That's like the real faith. Like, people try to add to it, but that's really what it is. So.
No, this is get deep, bro. Like, that's why I love having these conversations, because it's always that nuance of like just different perspectives, and that's why I think I was talking earlier about how it can get discouraging for me, because I just want what's right. It's like I want the answers. Like, I want.
You know a good thing I heard before?
What?
Someone told me, instead of always thinking about like what's sin and what's not sin, like just think about, does this glorify God or not? Like, that's a easier gauge, because we can get real technical. Like, I can say, hey, yeah, I'm sure you had that conversation. Drink is not a sin. Jesus turned water into wine. Whatever. We can have those conversations. But it's like, if I'm sitting here drunk, is this glorifying God or not? Like, that's an easy gauge to just ask yourself, in what way or shape or form, if something I'm doing, is it bringing glory to God? So I feel like that's an easier gauge for me.
Do you have a hard time of like trying to balance being of the world and of God now? Like, because you rapping about God and things like that, but you still have to live a certain lifestyle, kind of, as being in the industry. Still have to work with certain people. It's like, do you have a challenge balancing that at all?
Nah, I don't feel like I do. Like, I feel like I just be being me. Like, any room I walk into, I still just be being me. I understand everyone's like not to say I've even arrived. Like, I don't feel like I've arrived. I feel like I still have a lot of growing and maturing to do. I still need a lot of discipleship, mentors, all that stuff. But I just don't expect nothing. I don't necessarily like expect perfection or anything from anybody, because I know I ain't do it on myself. I didn't do it to myself. Like, I didn't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to quit this. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to be a more Christ-like person. Like, it literally took like a work from God to do it. So it's just more of me just having grace for people. I am one, like you asked me earlier, you want me to cuss? And be like, no, if you can refrain from cussing. I'm always going to encourage people to hold themselves to a higher standard, especially if you have some type of conviction about it, because for you to ask me means you probably considered it. But I just be me. I don't really.
What about the other Christians that may judge you? Do you feel that as well? People like talking about, criticizing the way you make music, criticizing the way you're talking about the Lord.
That happens a lot. Like, surprisingly, what people don't realize, what church, you ever been to a church where they was rapping on Sunday morning? Yeah, have you been in church? I'm sure you've been in church. Yeah. Probably
not rap, but I mean, praise and worship was always a thing in a black church anyway. So
it's a thing, but not rap. Like, you'd be surprised, most like churchy people, I guess, they don't really not. It's weird how I'm even here. I don't know, because they don't even rock with rap like that. Like, the audience, sometimes you'll be surprised how little people who are actually like Christians that like it. Some people think the genre as a whole is demonic. Like, they find rap music, like, I don't care what you're talking about, that is demonic. You shouldn't be rapping at all. So yeah, I definitely go through that. But
does that bother you at all, or like?
It did at first. Like, it really did at first. It bothered me a little bit at first. They had me questioning myself for like 30 seconds. I actually got to rap about it. Like, I bet, let me ask God. That's not what I heard. Because people was like really getting on me, and I'm like, God, like, you told me to do this. Why is they trying to tell me like this is wrong But that's why I be telling people get in your Bible because it makes it easier like to hear the voice of God. But it's like even in that he was showing me the Pharisees and the Sadducees who used to get on him. Like here it is, the Son of Man himself, God in human form in front of you, and you trying to criticize him and telling him, oh, you can't do it. You can't eat and not wash your hands. Like, what are you doing that's sinful? So he's like, they did it to him, for one. The religious people did it to him. But it's also a thing of people tend to, and that's why you're talking about you're a little confused. People tend to take man-made traditions and customs and call them requirements from God, if that makes sense. So they'll take their tradition or what they deem customary to do in church or to do in these different platforms, and now they're saying God said it. And it's like, God ain't said that, you said that. And that's basically what he revealed to me. Like, you heard, like, we locked in. I'm reading the scripture. I don't see nowhere where it's saying don't rap over it. Like, nothing even implying for your argument besides the fact that in your tradition or custom, it doesn't fit within your box of how you feel like music should be made unto God, pretty much. So that took personal quiet time with the Lord to like quiet out the noise to say, I know what God told me to do.
But it's funny because you say you only been making music for like 2 years. So when you say that took some time or that.
No, when I say time, I mean like a few days. I ain't let it. It wasn't nobody like, it wasn't like it took like some time.
So it ain't really bother you then?
It did, but that's just me. I just get over stuff fast. Like I could feel some type of way about something, like really feel it, but I'm not finna like sit on it for like, I really be giving stuff to God for. I don't be having time. It slow you down too much. I don't be sitting on stuff for a long time.
So how is this dealing with like, how is this in your personal relationships?
What do you mean?
Like, you dealing with other people, right? I mean, friendship, it could be romantic, whatever, right? Because like you are, bro, like you in this now. Like you said, man, you pull up, you don't curse, like none of that. Like, but everybody might not be on your level, especially your peers that you had before you walked into this. Yeah.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, most of my friends that I had before was gone, like after I stopped smoking. You know how some of those relationships can be like real surface? Like, and I encourage people to do that. Like, sometimes you'll find, like, the more you just mature, that a lot of your relationships was, like, just trauma bonding, if that makes sense. Like, y'all really just hanging because y'all both carrying some similar trauma type thing, which really keeps people from growing, whether they realize that or not. Like, you're creating relationships off of, oh, you got a boy problem, I got a boy problem, he ain't nothing. We bonding off of that. We bonding off the fact that we both like to get high. We're just bonding off of, like, trauma and... I ain't gonna, never mind.
Go ahead.
We just
take it there.
No. Like, it's like trauma bonding. So it's like once I did have a few friends who tried to like try to change a little bit, but it's like they was like, and I just can't. Like, I'm not there yet. And me too, being still like what I would consider like a baby believer, I ain't know how to help them. I was like, well, I'm gonna just keep praying and stuff. Like, I don't really know how to help, but. In my relationships now, I just feel like I have more just common-minded people, so it's not really hard necessarily. But I definitely had to leave a lot of people. I don't even want to say leave them behind because I didn't like purposely like I'm gonna cut you off. They kind of was just like, yeah, sis, I'm gonna keep doing this. You can do that now. But now they hit me up. Like a lot of people be trying to like pop back up type thing. Like, oh, I see you. Like,
of course they gonna do that.
Yeah, like, girl.
Yo, you know, it's funny. I'm thinking about it now. Like, you said you experienced, like, Christians, like, trying to condemn you and things like that. And it kind of bothered you for a quick second.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, are you ready for the next level of it? Like, because, like, you got mad followers. You got, like, 400-something, maybe 500,000 followers, right? So you're really popular right now, right? But even that is not even to be compared to, like, what's coming.
I'll be like this. This how I be. I just be like, I just be trying to trust God's timing type thing. Because it be like, I don't even want nothing that I'm not even ready for, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not one of those people that be trying to, like, I don't want nothing. I'm not where I like to say this. A good thing at a bad time is still a bad thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's still a bad, if you're not ready for it, that's not a blessing to you. It could have been a blessing, but it's not. So I just be like, if God put me there, I'm going to be ready because he's not going to put me there unless I'm ready. So that's how I feel.
Yo, what's your go-to verse that like you always gotta go to when you going through something or you need some guidance? Like, what's your favorite verse?
My go-to verse.
And break it down for
Definitely
me.
Romans 8:28.
That's crazy. That was close. Mine is Romans 8:18.
Really?
It's powerful, man.
Yeah.
Why is it 8:28?
Because it says that we know that God causes all things to work together for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose or plan. So for me, when I just be going through it, I'll be like, you must be causing it to work together because I know you love me. I know I love you. And I know you called me according to a purpose. So it just be like, I know it's happening. And that really what be happening too. Like, I realize that even when I get no's, rejections, like stuff like that, it's like every time I look back, it'd be like he was either saving me for something or setting me up for something better. And it's like the more you start to, I think a lot of people miss God and don't trust God. It's because they don't see him in stuff, if that makes sense. So stuff happens sometimes, they think it's them or they think it was a coincidence, which I feel like calling things coincidences are literally robbing God of his glory sometimes because you thinking it's coincidence, you thinking it was you. But it's like the more you start to see God and stuff, the more you'll begin to trust him because you be like, yo, God, that was you.
I think, and I ain't gonna lie, even for myself, and be straight up, I think a lot of people don't go as hard for God because they don't understand, what's the word? They don't see the, I don't want to say benefit, but it's like people take for granted their health until they sick, right? So the same with God is like, you don't take it serious because you don't see the win in it or you don't see the importance of it. Until you need to.
I say that cockiness or pridefulness, whatever you want to call it, comes from literally not thinking you need God. Like that's, and even me, if I'm being honest, like I didn't get as in depth into my testimony, but I was at a low point. Like I'm 5'6.5", almost 5'7". I'm like 120 pounds. I'm depressed. I'm going through a breakup. I was really he definitely caught me at a low point though. And I think that has to happen sometimes for some people. Cause like you said, without that humility, like you feeling like I need something, even though I didn't know that's what I needed. Cause I was going through this, but I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna turn to God now. I'm thinking I just need to smoke more. I'm thinking I just need to get on. Like I just need to get famous or something. Like, I'm thinking the answer is something else. And it's like, he'll take those moments to be like, nah, you do need me. I got something else. I heard someone say, it's people right now who think whatever they have, you could say money or whatever, is like the answer to their problem. Until they have problems, those things can't solve pretty much. And that's when you realize, oh, I need God, matter of fact.
Bro, just going back to the health example, right? Like everybody want to be rich and stuff, but if you ask the richest man on this earth, right, if he's sick and on his deathbed and he gotta die tomorrow, you ask him what would he want? He would say he would give all his money away just to have another day on this earth.
Can't pay for it.
You can't pay for it, bro. And it's funny because like that goes into my favorite scripture, Romans 8:18. It basically says, well, it says, I consider that your present sufferings will not even be, it can't even be compared to the glory that will be revealed in you. And it's like, that get me through every time. Like when I'm going through a hard time, it's like, bro, whatever you going through in this moment, it can't even be compared to the glory that's gonna be revealed to you when you get out of this.
You don't know, you preaching. I think too though, I think that scripture is more so also talking about like when it's all said and done, as far as like us being able to be in the presence of God and stuff. But I think that even preaches to the fact, or talks to the fact. I may be being too preachy on this podcast, but we gonna find out.
I mean, we here. It's already good.
But like just speak to the fact that like a lot of this stuff not worth it. Like one thing we all know is we gonna get up out of here. So I feel like it's worth pursuing or at least trying to understand. Like, hey, is this God thing legit? Because if we wrong, we wrong. But if we right, you sick.
Bro, no. I say this. I swear on everything, bro. It's not if we wrong. It's like, all right, this is exactly.
And I'm saying I don't, nothing in me think I'm wrong, but I'm just saying from a balanced perspective, if I'm playing the field evil,
no, that's what I'm saying. Rather, so for me, I look at it like, not if I'm wrong or wrong. I look at it like this. Okay, cool. If I do everything by God's way, right?
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Like nothing happens.
Yeah.
But no, if I'm right, I go to heaven, right? Yeah. But if I'm wrong, like if I'm wrong, nothing happens. But if I don't follow his path and I'm wrong, I go to hell.
Yeah.
So it's like I'd rather risk doing everything by his way and being wrong and nothing happened than not risk not doing nothing by his way, being wrong and going to hell.
Yeah.
It's like it's a win-win, if that makes sense. Like that's how I look at it.
And I think too, I think it's even from a now perspective, because I think that's another reason some people don't take it seriously is because death seems so far away to everybody. But we all know it can be right around the corner. You never know.
Never know.
But even just in these, like even in like your presence, in the present time, what I realized, and this is why I'm like really, like, I have a huge conviction to just talk about stuff so openly is because everything, God telling me not to do stuff is not like just like some like, oh, I'm trying to control you, tell you what not to do. It's actually protecting me. Like that, I'm like, my life has gotten better, not just from like a, oh, give your life to God and everything's gonna be okay. But it's like, just like I don't worry about certain things no more. Like, cause I know I'm doing more of the right things. I have a lot less to worry about. And because I know that I'm following him in that way, even when bad stuff do happen, I'm like, I know this ain't karma. Like, this is definitely God trying to work it for me, because I'm not out. It's not like when I was in the world, like I run up someone's house, try to drag them out the house, beat them up, kick their car, and then the next day I get in a car accident or something. It's like, I probably asked for that. Versus like, I know I'm like following his lead, which because of that, I'm protected in a way that goes beyond just like, do what I say because I said to do it. It's like, no, I'm actually telling you to do that because I'm trying to protect you, not to keep you from stuff.
But let me ask you this though, because that's why I don't want to say confused, but like, I get like it's challenging because you're still an artist, right? You still have goals. You still want, I don't know if it's platinum. You want to sell a certain amount. You still, it's still a worldly want kind of almost. You never like challenged with that, like, because I mean that's still of the world.
Yeah, I would say it definitely has been times, even having to refocus myself to like not focusing on being too focused on like the stuff you mentioned, like, oh, I gotta get to the next, I gotta post every day, I gotta X, Y, and Z from that perspective. But it's like, I don't think it's bad to necessarily want to be great. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing at all, because the word actually talks about like when we shine our light, when things happen, it gives us a bigger opportunity to bring glory back to God. So it's less about wanting to be great and more about me having to continue to check myself on why is more of a thing. So I have to like continue to do heart checks to say like, I don't be doing this because you're just trying to get likes and stuff like this. Like, you need to make sure your heart is still always in the right place. But I'ma always want to be like great. And I really think that's what discourages some people from not even wanting to do certain things, because they think like that's a part of like my mission is to show people that you don't have to compromise and stuff to make it to a certain level. Like, I think a lot of people think they have to do that. And I feel like any place you got to compromise to get to, it wasn't really yours in the first place. So now you got to compromise to stay there, and then it's just whack at that point. So I'm going to go as far as I'm supposed to go.
No, that's facts. Yo, 2 years in, man, you said you just loving it.
Yeah, I'm loving it, you know.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, I'm just blown away by your raps, though. Because, like, you really pretty, like, you good.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't want to say you don't see that often with, like, but not as often.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you can still, like, when you said that you like battle rap, it wasn't surprising.
Yeah.
Because it's like I get the energy of that.
Yeah.
With not the content of that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. It'd be like that. I really like rap though. Like I don't take like, I'm one of those people that feel like just because it's Christian rap, you can't just slide. You can't just use that as a pass, if that makes sense. Like, I want people, if they hear my music, I don't want them to just be like, oh, that was good because it was a Christian rap. Or that was good for a Christian rap. I want them to say,
that was good.
That was just good. Like, even when people say, people probably should think I should take this as not a compliment. I just had a post like a week ago. It got like almost 5 million views. Half the comments is people saying, I ain't even religious, but this slide. Like, I want people to just like it because they like it. I don't know. I just be trying to do stuff in excellence from that way, but
I mean, that
yeah,
makes
I
sense,
want them to
though.
like it. Just I don't feel like I get a pass because it's Christian.
What made you? Because again, and I've seen people like not wanting to get in that box of like Christian rap, right?
Yeah.
What made you embrace it? I'm curious.
Cause I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like I don't mind. I want people to know, and I'm seeing it don't hurt. I think some people think it hurt, but I feel like it's just a statement to like who I am. Like if you talk to me, you're just gonna be like, she a little like she. It's nothing to hide to me. I just rather just be like, this is what you're listening to, and maybe it do take away. Like maybe some people don't listen. I don't know, but I just felt like. But I ain't gonna lie, I did think about. I had a moment where I thought about like I'm like. I ain't even finna call myself a Christian rapper. But it wasn't for reasons that people probably expect. It was more of like a thing of, it was really because of the people like being weird. It would make me feel like, it's like a balance of feeling like, I don't want you to associate Christianity to me in a way like you probably have seen it, if that makes sense. Because like, for me, I grew up like, I seen like a lot of hypocrisy. Like I seen different things that would probably make me be like, I ain't finna be no Christian.
We all did.
They be fake.
Yeah.
Type thing. So that's like the only reason I thought about it at first. I'm like, I don't want people to think I'm like one of them. But it's like, I know I'm not. So I'm gonna just, yeah.
Nah, this is good, man. Dang. So what do you have a project out right now that you pushing, or
We working on one. I don't know when it's gonna drop. But September.
The interview or the project?
This interview. So I got a project dropping called It's Time on September 13th. We actually just had a little moment. I actually signed my first deal.
Congratulations.
Thank
Who
you.
you signed with?
Capital Christian Music Group.
Capital Christian Music.
Yeah.
They got so many sectors of so many different things.
Yeah, they got little sectors, but it's still Capital's the building. We're in there. But yeah, so I got my first like EP dropping with them. A lot of just great. I think I'm like leveling up. Like they done got me with great producers that
They got
really
some good features, or
yeah.
like how is it, like what are the good
Features?
from like a Christian
I
rap
think-
standpoint?
I
Like Kirk
mean-
Franklin, that's all I could think of. Like, I'm sorry, that's ignorant. But wait, what? You
Never
don't like
mind.
Kirk?
No. But I was gonna no. But I was saying that
I mean, was that not a good?
no, Kirk Franklin not even a rapper.
Oh, I'm about to say, because people just be, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Kirk Franklin not even a rapper.
I feel like, you know how music got different genres? I feel like Christianity got
It
different
really
genres.
do
now. It's
though. Like it be like you got the Christian rappers, you got Christian R&B now. It's like all type of things happening. But I don't know. A good feature is just, I mean, we got real stuff happening, so you can look at someone's numbers and be like, this is a good feature. They got over 1 million monthly listeners, or they got a strong social following.
It's a guy,
Stuff like
I think
that.
he's light skinned. He does like Christian rap. He's super nice. I forgot it. Not D1, but D1 is a good one.
Yeah, I got a song with him. On his album. I did a feature on his album.
Oh, this is fire.
Yeah. I think it's like one of his top songs on Spotify. It's called In My Bag Remix.
My bad.
Yeah. No, not from I'm
messing
not
with you. I'm
flexing. I'm like,
It's cool, it's
you
cool.
making it, you goofy. You like, oh, chill, like, chill.
I mean, my bad.
Chill,
Top seller.
chill,
My bad.
chill. It ain't even that.
Yeah, okay, so you just signed with Capital. Damn, like, how you feel? It's new? How new is this? How recent is this?
It's new. It's like real new.
How new?
Like earlier this year. But it's
Oh.
like we really just like getting a ball rolling.
How do you feel? That's a bigger. Yo, you been rapping for 2 years?
Yeah. I feel
And
good.
you got
though.
signed by like a major label.
Yeah.
You in the league.
We actually the first like full like Christian rap, like female to do it, like major. So
That gotta feel good, right?
yeah, like I said, it's a part of like that journey of, like I said, just trying to show people you ain't gotta do it a certain way to get results. Like that's not the firm foundation of what it's about, but it's like I definitely, like when you was asking, don't you want to X, Y, and Z? Like, yeah, I definitely want to be successful. Not as much for my sake as for the sake of those who are gonna come after me to see like someone did it and was successful doing it God's way.
This is fire, man. This is great.
Yeah.
Hopefully you come back when you get more success. We can keep doing this.
Yeah.
Yo, I gotta This is random. I used to do these freestyles back home in Baltimore, right? And I'm thinking about bringing it back. I would love for you to like come bless my platform.
Oh, do like a what's name?
Like a rap.
That'll be hard.
I'm serious.
Nah.
I'm so
That'll
serious.
be hard.
So it's funny. It's my first time ever talking about this in public, but like that's how I kind of got popular.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. It don't matter.
So that's how I got popular. Like I was doing freestyles, whatever, back in Baltimore.
Really?
Yeah. Before I started doing the interviews, and I kind of like got away from it. But I've been talking to some people trying to bring it back. And yo, that would be hard if you could. I'm serious though.
I'm serious too. We finna do some. I think we got some stuff lined up too this week or next week or something.
All right, man. I'm gonna talk to you about that, man. I appreciate it, man.
Hit me up.
For the people that don't know, I mean, everybody know how to follow you, all that support, what's going on.
It's at Childlike CiCi. We got the EP dropping. I'm Childlike CiCi everywhere. That's CiCi, Childlike. You should know how to spell that, hopefully. But yeah, we got the EP coming. I think we're doing like 5 songs. They fire. They dumpers. They like. It's not just good because it's Christian rap. It's like really like that. Like I just was at Trash Mag performing. They was in there. It's really like that. But gonna sanctify your ears, your playlist, do all that good stuff. But it's time. Childlike CiCi, September 13th.
Man, this is
Stream
good.
it.
Childlike CiCi, J Hill podcast is rap. We out.
Peace.